Welcome back to the Art and Hitting channel. We got a great one for you today. We got another Hall of Fame inductee. Vince Mellograno is going to be inducted into Senior Hall of Fame in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, what you see here is some of the presenters, the inductees, and Fran Dow from Senior Softball. And there's Tolles in honor of Vincent. A couple of no more dignitaries. And there's Terry Henry. Let's hear what he has to say. A lot of people showed up for this event to honor the senior inductees in the Softball Hall of Fame. The next up to present it and induct it into the Hall of Fame, none other than Vinny Mellograno. Let's hear it for Vinny. I finally found my wife.
2002, 5 years later, he was invited to play on a traveling team from Cincinnati, who you may recognize, Joseph Chevrolet. That began a 15-year run of excellence for some of the top teams in the sports, and for the past 6 years, Vince has played with Venom. Along the way, he's chalked up 48 all tournament awards, 8 MVP awards, batted a consistent 765 to 900, and many of his awards were earned at the major and major plus level. Rainer Martin said Vince brings many attributes to the game. Of course, slow pitch softball is about hitting, and Vince does that very well. His batting average, playing at the highest level of the sport, major plus, is always in the high 70s. Here to introduce Vince is teammate again, Ed Rose.
Thank you, Terry, and thanks again for everything. I don't know if the guys, Venom guys, stand up again one time. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Come on, yeah. I hope everybody's here. I'm going to take a roll call afterwards, and you're going to have a bunch of laughs you ain't here. Okay, Vince Mellograno. Yeah, again, Terry, you walked on me, but I'll ad-lib. Let me start with saying, I was going to start with, you never know a guy until you're in a foxhole with him overnight, but I didn't think that might not work. You guys would misinterpret that a little. So I change it to you never know someone until you travel with them. Okay, and I think a lot of us can relate to that. It's a good thing my wife and I didn't travel before we got married. And Phil and I definitely ain't doing it together. Okay, well, in softball, you don't know anyone until you play with them. You can play against them, and you can watch them play, but you don't know them until you play with them. And I certainly have played with Vinny for the last 10 years, and I know that young man pretty well. And it's my job to briefly introduce him. Now, Vinny Mellograno, it just even sounds good when you say it, right? It's like it's got dignity to it, you know, like a mob boss or something, you know. Vincent. We call him Vinny. Vinny. Another than one of those guys with a one-name deal. Hey, that's Vinny, man. He's good. Born and raised in Philadelphia. We may have went to the same high school together if I'd have stayed up in Philly, man. Yeah, I was born in Philly too, man. That's maybe why I love you, brother. Played college baseball at Westchester University in Pennsylvania. Coached baseball at a high school and college level. A master's degree. A PhD degree at Temple University. The master's degree was from the University of Pittsburgh. 36 years at Cleveland State University, department chair and dean. Amazing thing about that, you're still a conservative. That's amazing. Yeah. 10 years at Rollins College, Winter Park. He was an adjunct professor. You'll have to explain that to me later, but it's the adjunct stuff. I get the junk, I don't get the ad. Cultural, social issues in sports. You must have held a laboratory playing with these softball players. Because you get some social issues, that's for sure. His senior softball experience. He started playing in Cleveland at age 57. Late to that game. Recruited in 2007 by none other than the Joseph Chevrolet team. We did beat them in Virginia one time. Were you on that team? Probably not. We probably wouldn't have won then. He moved to Orlando in 2009, played with the famous senior moments in Florida Half Century. They're famous in Florida Half Century. He was recruited to play by the Legends. We all know the Florida Legends. They dominated for many years. Other teams through 2015 was the Florida Thunder, Rose Enterprises. I know those guys, along with major teams: AMR South, Cardiac Kids, Beach Boys, and Senior Moments. And then he was recruited in 2016 to play with the Venom Boys. Yes, sir. And then that's where I got to know Vinny really well. Never really a very boisterous guy. Hardly know he's there, but what a player. He currently plays for the Florida Investment Team, 80 major plus, still doing his thing, still running, catching, throwing, being intelligent, not saying much, team leader. Now I'm not going to go, well, I'll go over it just to be redundant, but 51 all-tournament selections, 27 at the major plus level, and his average was 765. Now I would question that if that was maybe Dave Clover. You know, but I know you're an accountant. Dave fudges the numbers once in a while because he used to be in administration. Just a joke, Dave, just a joke. You'll be putting no headlock on my ass now. That's an inside joke. Nobody laugh. Hall of Fame. Now, basically, Vinny, come on up here, Vinny. Come on up here. Give him a hand. Give this man a hand. Now, trying to speak from the heart, yes, he's an intelligent guy. But, I forgot the story I was supposed to lead back to my opening about traveling. The one thing Vinny will probably never forget in his softball career is rooming with Ed Rose. He's probably in his historical moments is filed under unbelievable. Well, we roomed for a weekend, and I think he had to go to like 3 sessions of counseling afterwards because he told me during that weekend, Ed, you make a cup of coffee nervous. But Vinny, I love you. You're one of the best, man. Congratulations on your big day.
Thanks for the introduction, Eddie, and Terry Hennessy for all that your organization does over the years, and much appreciated. That plaque has one name on it, but it's shared among numerous people as teammates, managers, sponsors, friends, and family of softball. And the teams that have been associated with were mentioned both by Terry and Eddie, so I won't repeat that, but what I would like to recognize are the people responsible for the journey, if you will. And it began, as Terry mentioned, with Joseph Chevrolet and Roy Hearn, Shelby Simmons with Senior Moments, Reiner and Julie Martins with the Florida Legends. And the goal of the Florida Legends when Reiner took over the team was to win 100 tournaments, and was fortunate enough to be part of the team when that occurred, and the Legends surpassed that number. I've got to believe one of the most successful, high-performing teams ever in senior softball. There was a transition, and maybe some of you players recognize when you're too young for one team and too old for another, and fortunately there were 2 people that made a difference in that transition. And one is Richie McKeel with AMR South, and the other is no less than Eddie Rose with Rose Enterprises, Florida Thunder, and that led to Eddie and I joining the Venom. And for over 6 years, I had the experience at the major plus level. I see many of the Omen players in the stands, and we've had quite a rivalry over the years, and have been fortunate to be part of that. Pete Tacos, as the leader, and his generosity is outstanding, and I thank him for the role that he has played in that pursuit. The other person is able assistant. Is that you up there, Cliff? Thank you for all that you have done in supporting me.
Hey, Cliff, B.
Cliff, more importantly, has been a friend, and that I appreciate. Cliff was my sponsor for this nomination, and for that I will be forever grateful. Thank you once again. And now we come to Florida Investment Properties. A few months ago, I really had no idea who I was going to be playing with. And I thank Dave Kester and Jerry Pickett for the role that they played. And more significantly, Rocco. And I see Rocco up here.
Where's Rocco?
Rocco's three-decade experience in senior softball. And I hope I'm not the number of years you have contributed both. Even internationally, I've followed your record. And so I was aware of Florida Investment Properties and Rocco and your reputation. Again, never thinking I might have an opportunity to play with you. It's certainly been an honor. Look forward to seeking the Triple Crown here, and that will begin in just a couple of hours. Finally, I'd like to thank Patty Ott and your support and love over the past several years, and your willingness to put up with my softball obsession. And it is an obsession, as I'm sure most of you share. And so I appreciate your willingness to do that. And in the same manner, I'll extend that appreciation to all of you who have taken the time to come out and recognize all the Hall of Famers and to be here for this ceremony. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Vinny, and you other guys out there. Go ahead and hit subscribe. Don't forget, it's free.